Aethir ATH, this pattern, I think you guys should be paying attention to here because I've talked about this coin for a few times. Let's do a very quick update because I think there's been quite a bit of things that has happened with Aether here in the past couple of weeks. All right, this is the falling wedge pattern on the weekly time frame. You guys will find this pattern with a lot of altcoins because they've just been getting so beat down. However, what this pattern tells you is that after an extensive downtrend on that time frame, I think this is probably more validated on a smaller time frame here, right? On the daily time frame, okay, it is a falling wedge pattern, and it tells you that after an extensive downtrend on that time frame, that the price action is likelier to break back out to the upside. Okay, you guys can validate that on your favorite AI chatbot or Google, right? And what is happening here with Aether is that it tried to break out last week and even 2 weeks ago. Okay, however, it was unsuccessful, but this pattern is still intact because I'm just seeing wicks outside of the pattern here, and wicks do not invalidate a pattern. It tells me that there was a fake out, right? There was a fake out. Now, since it was unsuccessful, I'm going to move the price target along this upward trend line and see what the updated price target is. The updated price target is still about 13 cents. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look into what's happening with Aether. I talked about a double bottom here on this weekly time frame as well from within the falling wedge pattern. It's also very important to be charting within a pattern as well because that would tell you, uh, you know, which way is more likely to be playing out, right? To get more clarity and details. And in this case, I have a bullish pattern within a bullish pattern because double bottoms are bullish patterns that has a higher chance of breaking to the upside. Double bottom pattern here, the neckline would be about 5.75 cents, okay? And the price target for this double bottom pattern is going to be about 9 cents. So, what Aether did was basically it broke out of that double bottom pattern, okay? And try to break out of this falling wedge pattern as well was unsuccessful. However, something very important to be paying attention to here, the major resistance or support at about that for that double bottom pattern here is I'm looking at not just the candle wicks, but I'm looking at the candle closes, okay, which would be about 5.1 cents. And what is interesting to see is that Aether actually closed the previous week, above that solid resistance, that candle close resistance, which is important. So that basically tells me that it validated that double bottom breakout here. Okay, so what could be happening with Aether next? Okay, what could be happening here is I see a rising wedge pattern on this 4-hour time frame. Okay, rising wedge patterns are bearish patterns. Okay, and this is a smaller time frame, 4-hour time frame. Okay, and you also have divergence on the RSI playing out. That usually indicates a pullback. Let's just say if Aether breaks down by this point, for example, price target would be about 4.6 cents price target. That would take Aether back within to the double bottom pattern. But I mean, not on the weekly yet. Okay. So this is basically what I'm seeing. Okay, we have for Aether, there is, on the higher time frames there are still bullish signals. However, on a lower time frame there is a bearish pattern. Let's see how this plays out. And I think what to be paying attention to for Aether here are the weekly candles because those are the higher time frames where these bullish patterns are apparent. Now, a lot of this is going to depend on what's happening with Bitcoin because Bitcoin is still the driver of this crypto market. And if Bitcoin has more room to pump, so will a lot of these altcoins. However, if Bitcoin starts dumping, that's not going to be good for a lot of these altcoins here. So I did a more detailed video on Bitcoin earlier today. I'm going to link you guys at the end of this because I never trade altcoins without a clear understanding of Bitcoin that could really wreck your altcoin trades. That's basically it for this video. Let me know if you guys want to continue seeing any more of ATH or any other coins in this market by dropping a like, comment, subscribe. I'll pick a request to do for you guys on a daily basis, and I'll see you on the next one.